A telling of Jonah 1. Now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai, saying, Go at once to that great city of Nineveh, and cry out against it, for their wickedness has come before me. Instead, Jonah set out for Tarshish to flee from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa, and he saw a ship that was sailing to Tarshish. He paid his fare and went aboard to go with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord hurled a great wind onto the sea, and such a violent storm arose that it threatened to break up the ship. All of the sailors were frightened, and each began to cry out to his God. Then they began throwing cargo overboard to lighten the ship. Meanwhile, Jonah had gone below deck into the hold of the ship, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. Then the captain of the ship went in to him and said, What are you doing in such a sound sleep? Get up and call out to your God. Perhaps he will take notice of us so that we will not perish. Now the sailors began to call to one another, and they said, Let us cast lots and see who it is that is to blame for this evil that has come upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they went to Jonah and they said to him, Tell us, why is this evil come upon us? Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? What is your country? From whom do your people come? And Jonah answered, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. When they heard that, the men were all the more terrified, and they asked, Well, what have you done? For they knew that Jonah was fleeing from the presence of the Lord, because he had already told them so. Then they said to Jonah, Tell us, what can we do to you to make the sea grow calm for us? For the sea was growing more and more turbulent. And Jonah said to them, Pick me up and throw me into the sea, and the sea will grow calm for you. For I know that it is because of me that this great storm has come upon the sea. Instead, the men rowed harder and harder to try and get the boat to land, but they could not, and the sea grew stormier and stormier. Then the men cried out, Lord, hear our prayer, please, as we pray. Do not let us perish on account of this man's life, and do not make us guilty for innocent blood. For you, O Lord, have done as it pleased you. Then they picked up Jonah and threw him into the sea. And the sea ceased its raging. And the men feared the Lord in great fear. And they made a sacrifice to him. And they made vows. But the Lord provided a big fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.